She kept texting me, no answering calls, saying it was just a joke, and that I knew she always did that. She said that I left a difficult situation in the house because it was very clear that I'd given up on proposing to her and did it in front of my parents and the in-laws. Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, I'm going to go over a story titled, Am I the A-hole for keeping the engagement ring and giving up on proposing after the proposal in front of my parents and in-laws? And big shout out to Joseph for sending me this story. And guys, this is definitely an entertaining one. This story is about a gal, about she and her girlfriend. They are obviously a lesbian couple. And long story short, the one writing this story here went to propose to her girl. And let's just say her girl didn't handle it in the best way. And now she's pretty much called off the proposal, took back the ring, and pretty much is moving on from her. And it's a whole big drama fest. And I thought this would be a good one to go over, guys, to show you that all the BS that the gals will put guys through and make them crazy and all that I talk about a lot of times, they'll do it just as much in same-sex couples, lesbian relationships. It goes both ways. And I've actually had some women write to me that are lesbian women and would talk and email me some stories that they pretty much deal with the same crap that a lot of guys deal with nowadays. It makes them crazy and they're trying to figure it out and they're tired of it and all that. But it's interesting. That'll be a good story, something different to go over here. And in this story, you're going to see this gal she's with is very immature. Very immature, that apparently whenever she asks for something, she'll always say no. Just to mess with her, mess with her head, mess with her emotions. Next to no maturity, next to no respect. And this gal writing the story asked her repeatedly, don't do that. I don't like that, don't do that. And the girl keeps doing it and doing it, testing her, because all women test, whether it be testing guys, testing girls, and just a whole bunch of lack of respect, the type of crap that a lot of gals do to guys. And ultimately, she's had enough, and that's that. And obviously, then, she's being labeled the a-hole because she's finally had enough of this girl's crap. But anyhow, guys, it'll be a good one to go over, and you'll see more as I go on. So it starts off, it says, my girlfriend, I am a 25-year-old female. My girlfriend, Molly, is 26. For the last 6 months, started with a joke that I've already made clear I don't like. It consists of her saying no quickly to anything I ask. She sounds like a little brat, a little 5-year-old brat. I know it sounds silly, but I ask her to get a glass of water for me, and she says no. And after 1 minute, I'm almost getting up, and she says she's joking and gets me water. I ask her to wash the dishes, and she says no. I say I love you, she says no. I ask her to take her clothes, she says no. Everything is joking, and after 30 minutes, 1 minute later, she does it, but she's addicted to doing it. Well, if you don't like this and you keep expressing that you don't like the way she behaves and she keeps doing it, then you ought to consider this is not someone you want to spend your life with, that you cut it off with. But she's behaving like a child. Now, you can tell the gal writing in here is obviously the masculine one in the relationship, okay? And all couples, same-sex couples, lesbian couples, gay couples, two dudes, there's always one that's more masculine, more feminine. And generally the more masculine one is the more, let's be honest, mature and take charge and orderly and all that, while the feminine one's always a little more indecisive and typical feminine behavior, right? And right here, the masculine one, right in the story, is acting like an adult. The feminine one is acting like a freaking child. Goes both ways, both in, like I said, same-sex couples or hetero couples. So she's acting like a fucking child and testing her and disrespect and all that. I've already made it clear several times that I don't like it, even more so in the I love yous. She's the only person I can say that, so it's special to me. And there are things that are serious and I need her to answer seriously. And if she says no to everything jokingly, I can't tell whether she's saying a real no or not. I keep saying this is boring and I don't like it. She stops doing it and goes back to doing it after a week. After a brief discussion, because she played this prank in front of our friends, me asking, love, can you get me some medicine? With her saying no, she stopped doing it for a month. Yesterday, we welcomed my parents and the in-laws, our two best friends, to our house. Everyone knew that I was going to propose to her, and I called them, because we always planned with a proposal with our loved ones attending, participating in this special day. I would not. This is not someone you want to be in a relationship with, let alone spend your life with, behaving like this. One, behaving like this, and two, after expressing you don't like this type of behavior, it's not cool, keeps doing it. But what I tell you about the testing and the testing and the testing, and obviously mind games, this girl wants to have control. I asked her to marry me, and she said a quick no. And I was so grumpy, panicked, and upset, everyone looked in shock. For 30s, for her to laugh and say she was joking, finally saying yes. I was so embarrassed and disappointed. I put the ring box back and said I'm going to take it to cool off, and I didn't even let her say anything back. Well, good. I'd leave there too. I'd take that ring back and walk the hell out of there. There's one time when you're actually proposing to her in front of all those people, and she's going to make her look like a fool with this childish no crap. That tells you everything you need to know about her. She doesn't give a shit. It's a fucking child. I was so embarrassed and disappointed. I put the ring box back and I said, I read that part. She kept texting me, no answering calls, saying it was just a joke, and that I knew she always did that. She said that I left a difficult situation in the house because it was very clear that I'd given up on the proposal and did it for my parents and the in-laws. She stressed I was making the situation uncomfortable because of a silly joke. So this child here, this immature brat, is twisting it around, making the gal the bad guy here. Even though she was on the spot making the proposal, even though she's told her many times, please don't do that, I don't like that, blah, blah, blah. But of course, she's the bad guy here. Bullshit. Well, I slept in a hotel and I'm still in it. My parents supported me, but my in-laws are calling me an a-hole for giving up on the proposing, disproportionately humiliating their daughter. I just really think that there's times for jokes, and that moment clearly was not. She knew I didn't like it and decided to do it anyway. Am I the a-hole? Abso-freaking-lutely not. She's the a-hole. The only way you're the a-hole is you keep staying with her when she keeps treating you with disrespect. The problem is that you can tell that this woman here writing this story about her girlfriend is way more into her than the other way around. Therefore, whoever cares the least has the power. That's how it is in relationships. It's the ugly truth, but it's the fucking truth. And this gal that she's obviously in love with and wants to marry would make a terrible life partner, whatever the hell you want to call it these days, and doesn't respect her, doesn't care about her feelings enough. Even on the proposal, can't even show the respect and not pulling this childish bullshit. She has every right to walk away. And quite frankly, I'd be like, I'm done. End of story. You keep pulling this type of crap, there's no respect, done, and walk away. And if her parents were labeling this girl the a-hole for doing that, that says a lot about them. They probably raised her in a way, they spoiled her. Okay? And this could be her family one day. She stays with her. So the best thing she could do is walk the hell away. And guys, I did a story just yesterday about this girl, maybe you guys saw it, who kept bringing up about her ex-boyfriends, the size of their sausages. And her boyfriend, who she was with, didn't like it. And he kept saying, stop doing that, it's disrespectful. She kept doing it and doing it and doing it. Playing mind games, trying to emasculate him, testing him, and finally eventually dumped her, but after way too long. And there are gals out there do it to guys, they do it to girls, they're all the same. And it is kind of amusing, I must admit, that from a man's perspective, when you hear that the women pull this type of crap with the girls in lesbian relationship, the same thing as in hetero relationships. Goes to show you, they're the same types of behavior. Now, real quick, there's some comments here before I wrap this thing up. One guy says, I had a fiance who did those jokes constantly. Eventually, due to work-related stress, and I lost it with her, and moved in with my dad for a few days. I suddenly realized how nice it was to not deal with the endless jokes. I cannot explain to anyone the relief I suddenly felt. We split up, and I've been happily married to a normal adult behaving person for a few years now. Having a childish partner is draining sometimes. Honestly, she humiliated you on purpose. Run, you deserve better. Exactly. It's not worth it. If someone acts like a freaking child, they're always going to act that way. And you just like a child, you need to draw a line in the sand and say you're going to cut that crap out. There's going to be consequences. And that child is either going to stop the bullshit or they'll test again. And then you have to then back up your words. I'm guessing this woman here probably didn't do that. She probably knock it off. I appreciate, please don't do that. And just got more shit. Life's too short. Another guy says, not the a-hole. It's not a joke if the target doesn't find it funny. And you made it clear that you hate this. I think she feels it gives her some kind of power or control saying no and reveling in your sad puppy eyes until she says yes. A lot of mind games there. And again, women, whether they're in a hetero relationship or a lesbian relationship, pull the same type of crap, whether it's guys or gals. She doesn't want to give up this power, but I think you should give up on her. Yes. Find someone else. Okay? You deserve better. The last one, not the a-hole. Also, that her parents are supporting her after her acting this way possibly shines a light on the issue. I.e., maybe that was her model growing up, and that she's not completely honest with him about your relationship or how you treat each other. I don't see a way in which you're wrong here. I think you have plenty of reason to be hurt or upset. It is up to you how you want to handle it, but just think she's old enough to know better, and you've already tried numerous times to talk to her about it and confront the issue. This is the person you're choosing to ask to be your life partner, which may include making hard financial or medical decisions, raising children, and if you choose to do so, any type of hardship that may arise. And heaven forbid you should eventually have a divorce, she'll likely either get very serious very quickly or continue to treat everything as a joke. Her behavior is juvenile at best, toxic and damaging at worst. And every time you guys have a big disagreement, it sounds like her parents and possibly your friends are more than happy to back her up with that before gathering all the facts about the situation. You would have gotten a not the a-hole verdict on the premise of your partner joking off a proposal, hurting and embarrassing you alone, but wanted to offer insight on root cause and what your future with her realistically may look like unless she quits her shit. Well, she's not going to quit her shit. She may say she'll quit her shit, but she's not going to quit her shit. She needs to grow up and just let her be somebody else's problem. I say a lot of times in these videos when these guys have these gals that are a big pain in the ass, cause all this turmoil, I say at the end of the day, cut them loose, move on, learn from the mistakes, and let that gal be some other dude's problem. In this case, let this girl be some other woman's problem. But I thought this would be a good one to go over some variety here, that they do the same crap to the gals as they do to the guys. And just goes to show you that male and female nature, both in general as well as in relationships and the things that both parties do, doesn't make a difference where you are in the world, what your culture, what your religion, what your socioeconomic status is, whether you're straight, lesbian, gay, it's the same freaking thing. So that'd be a very interesting one to cover here. Cut her loose, move on, end of story. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know if this is something you've observed, that the gals will, not just in hetero relationships, but in lesbian relationships, do the same thing that make the guys crazy. If you happen to know anybody that does this, family member, acquaintances, coworkers, whatever, I'd like to hear about that. Just be nice in the comment section, and you know what I mean by that. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.